All right.
Well, you guys are on time, so we'll get started.
Absolutely, we will. Thank
That's
you.
the benefit of being on time.
It's the benefit.
All walked in together.
All right, so Alex wanted me to go over quarterly business planning, planning for the new quarter. So my personal reaction to that was an automatic yes, because I usually do it on my own. I've been doing it for years. And the specific reason why I think quarterly planning is important, sometimes you just need to press reset. Just need to press reset on everything. The general population in general, like we do that once a year at the beginning of the year in January. We take a look at our goals, we take a look at what happened last year, and we do one big plan. But what happens is when you do it at the beginning of the year, if you never revisit it, it just phases out and you have no chances to realign. You have no chances to shoot back up. And I actually read a book, if you write this down, there's a book called The 12-Week Year. The 12-Week Year. Yeah. Huh?
About the first quarter on that.
What do you say?
About the first quarter.
Well, it's about 12 weeks, so that's the name of the book. So what is 12 weeks? 12 weeks equals a quarter. So the whole premise of the book is that if you do that annual planning, it's just too long of a time span to stay in control. But they did the science, they wrote the book, and they succeeded with it. If you plan for 12 weeks, it's enough for you to not only keep control, make enough plans. It's just the whole 12-week thing works. If you do something differently, let us know, try it out. Sometimes 1 week is just too short, and sometimes 1 month is just too short. But the whole idea of doing it for 12 weeks over the course of a quarter, it actually worked for me. It worked for them. There's a whole book around it, like I said. So you can refer to that book. So what I want to do today is just go over what I put in my quarterly planning. And maybe if we got some time, I'll answer some questions, share some stories. The first story I can share with you is that every single time I've had a boost in production, whether it's here at New York Life or in another company, it came because I was able to sit down and do a quarterly plan. It came because I was able to sit down, put my thoughts together, exactly what I want to do, map it out. It just works. So try it out. So what do I put in my quarterly plan? I have a couple of examples on my iPad that I'll show, but I want to try to simplify it as much as possible. So the first thing that I do, and Paul saw this before, is a concept called MVP. So MVP in sports is like, okay, the best, most valuable player, everybody knows what MVP is. But you start your business plan with something a little bit more substantial, which is your mission, your vision, and your purpose. So why is it important to start with that? We're in a financial business. It's a very tough, very rugged business. We're dealing with numbers. It's consistent prospecting. If you don't have some of what really matters to you inside of that plan, then it's just going to fall off track. It's going to be like doing two different things. So when you're able to sit down at the beginning of the quarter and write down what your mission is, your vision, your purpose is, then this is your plan. It's not somebody else that's asking you to do this. It's you that's really deciding what it is that you want to do. So what's the difference between the three? I always say the mission is, what would you put on your wall? So picture yourself a year from now, 2 years from now, and you lease out a floor like this. And the minute employees are coming in, or you're coming in, or clients are coming in, they see something on the wall. If it's not the company name, they see something written. So your mission is, what are you here to accomplish? In the shortest amount of words possible, what's your mission in business? So, every company has a mission, they have something that they strive for, but this one, it has to really move you, motivate you, not just you, but also the people that are coming through your office. So that's your mission. Your vision is, what do you see? What do you see for yourself? Where do you see yourself? And you decide the time span. It could be 3 months from now, it could be a year from now, 5 years from now, but where do you see yourself? Who do you see yourself working with? What do you want to be known for? What type of change do you want to affect on other people? So it's really some introspection. So those things that really matter to you, you have to put it on paper. And the purpose is, what's the impact? What's the results? What you really want to be known for. So every successful business person, whether it's in financial services, real estate, or wherever it is that you're working, they're known for something. They're very strong at doing this one thing. If you go to a networking group, they'll say, I want to introduce you to so-and-so, he's very good at doing X. He's very good, he helped me doing X. So you have to kind of have that intent from the very beginning in order to be effective over the course of a quarter. So that's step number one, just write down your mission, your vision, your purpose, so you really know where you're heading. It's not somebody else's plan, it's your plan. So, that's why I'm always passionate. I don't do things if I don't want to do it, point blank. That's why I'm able to keep on moving with determination, because I do things I really want to do it. I have an intent behind it. How you doing?
Hey, boy.
Good. All right. Mission, vision, purpose. Then it's the goals. All right, in the goals section, of course, you have production goals. How much FYC you want to produce over the course of a quarter. So there's a lot of schools of thoughts in that. I don't know how you guys think. Some people set small goals that they know they can attain. Some people set large goals so it pushes them. What type of goals you set?
I usually go for the same number per month. When you push it out over a whole year, it equals where I would want to be. But I backed into it by like income, needs, and then said if I can at least do 20% more than that, that's been where I need.
So you figure out a number, which is your,
My bare minimum.
right, your,
Plus 20%, and that gives me like 3750 or 4,000.
okay. So you're talking about like your expenses, right? Your daily expenses that you need to cover,
Yeah.
plus 20%. That's your FYC goal per month.
Yeah, 20% is like a hedge in case there's bad monthly month. So I'm not up to speed, full speed yet.
Got it.
Next year would happen.
Thank you. What about you? How do you set goals? Large
From a
goals, small
monthly
goals?
standpoint, I typically do it to kind of see what I did the previous month and what I have coming up to kind of get an idea of what I think I can do for the month.
Okay.
Sometimes it's working and sometimes it's not working, so I'm inconsistent on that. And I guess I would be looking for a way to keep it consistent.
Right.
Kind of like planting the old seeds in the previous month to see what's growing, what I got coming up. So then I can calculate kind of where I think I'm going to be.
Okay.
And sometimes I try to keep it at what I'm going to be, so I don't know if that's conservative. I could say I'm not putting, well, like Mike's put plus 20. Maybe I should shoot for a higher goal or something. But,
Why do you think that?
well, if I'm inconsistent with doing what I'm doing now, I got to change to make it more consistent. Maybe set. I guess maybe I haven't set there's two goals out of the question. Like here's what I think, but my goal to reach is here.
Right.
Be a little above and beyond.
All right. Like I said, there's no right or wrong. I just really want to understand how people set goals. Kari, how do you set goals? Do you set goals that you know you can attain, or stretch goals that are kind of way out there? How do you set goals in terms of FYC?
Right now, just pretty much expenses.
Okay. Okay. Very good. I didn't ask you for your name.
Jeremy.
Jeremy. So how do you set goals for a quarter in terms of the production?
At the moment, I'm trying to focus on goals that I think I'd be able to attain.
All right. All right. And why do you do that?
Well, I'm still very new, so I'm just sort of getting on my feet. So I definitely have higher goals at a certain point, but at the moment, I think I just need to stay focused on what's directly in front of me, you know what I mean? So that, I think that helps me stay focused.
All right. All right, very good. How do you set goals? Realistic, attainable?
More realistic.
Okay. And why? Why do you do it like that?
Because for me, stretching the goal, sometimes the way to probably make you more, like, it really doesn't work for me when I stretch it too much because now it gets a little bit crazy. So like, if I'm doing my goals, I know what's in the pipeline and I work from that and what else I can do. That's what I do.
Okay. All right, very good. Paul?
So I have a couple different types of goals. Maybe call them Cortez goals.
All right.
You know, the legend was that Cortez got to the New World. His guys went to around, go home, so he burned his ships. He ain't going home. So I have to have like minimums. Like I have to make 3,000 so I can get my tasks, so I can pay the bills. So that's a guaranteed, absolutely got to do goal.
Right.
And then, frankly, company pushes me. So every time there's an award or incentive, I want those.
Okay.
And so, like the first quarter, I wanted to win the first quarter goal. I want to get the 40 life case goal. Anytime there's a little prize, I want it. So like I was really close on Cornerstone, really close on some of these other goals. So those push me. I think that's just a maybe intrinsic recognition, I guess. And then obviously stretch goals. You know, when you talk about like where you see that the wall thing, you know, I want to be in a situation where, you know, the tropical vacation is back on the family annual trip. You know, it's not having that. I want that back. So there's some things that I want to see happen. So absolutely have to, company inspired, and then stretch goals personally.
They're kind of, yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
But they're all there.
Right. All right, very good. Alex, how do you set goals?
I have a planning process.
Okay. Now the specific question, because that's the one thing, I'm not there when people are setting their goals.
Mm-hmm.
What I wanted you to answer the question is do you set goals you know you can reach, or do you set stretch goals or anything in between?
I set stretch goals.
Why?
Well, I guess that goes back to when I was an agent,
Mm-hmm.
when I first came in, and the opportunity was sold to me on, you know, be the best that you can be.
Mm-hmm.
So I always set the stretch goals. Let's give you an example, and I'll go back to first year as an agent. First year as an agent, my goal, I was in that, you know, 50,000 range. That's what I was making. And when I went to my, I think it was my second or third interview, the managing partner told me that there were guys making in the office 100,000, 150,000, right? So I said to myself, you know, if these guys are doing that, why can I? So I double my goal to make over 6 figures, right? So that was back then. Now, as the managing partner of the office, I have a planning process in which I, you know, that, you know, it's like we rationalize it, and we have a planning tool that allows me to set goals. So, but I do set stretch goals.
Okay.
Because I want to be stretched to the breaking point, because that's how I get better. I don't want to be just doing enough to get by. I don't, you know, I don't want to. I don't want to, you know, I don't want to play not to lose. I want to play to win.
Right. Okay, very good. So that's setting goals. So let me share a couple of nuggets on goals, and how long we have?
Take as much time as you want.
All right. So everybody has their own way of setting goals. You will try and you will win. You will fail. You will eventually develop what works for you. I'm not the authority in how what's going to work for you. I don't know you enough to say exactly what's going to work for every individual. But I'll tell you a couple of things that has allowed me, you know, to actually make it work. So number one on goals, I don't just set FYC goals. So FYC is one of them, but I have other goals because we all have a life. So if you have other goals in terms of health, family, You know, you have to put them on there. This is your business plan. I know it sounds like it's out of business, but you have to put these in so you don't kind of lose your mind. So if you have health, family, I don't know what other goals that people have, but life doesn't stop because you're trying to make money. You know, money should help your life be easier, should help you actually do what you want to do, but there's a lot of other stuff that you can accomplish. I know I have like workout goals, which is related to health, family, so let's go on the list. And the reason why I would want people to do that, because if you just focus on this, all right, this business that we're in, the financial service business, everybody says it's a tough business. Why do they say that it's a tough business? Because it's a long game. It's not an immediate gratification where you get some wins every single time. You gotta be patient. You get some small wins, you get some big wins. It takes a toll on you because you're taking a look at this only. That's the only thing you're taking a look at. All right? So you gotta have other things going on in your life that you're working on simultaneously, make it all work together. If I get a